gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, episode 43, season 2, Struggling Future Hall of Famers. I like the title. So I am your host, Eric. My main man over there, Ron. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
A lot going on. Glad you could join. So we've got a ton to cover, a ton to unfold this week in the sports world. We're going to start right off with our leadoff story. And that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have lost to the Baltimore Ravens. They fall to 3-5 on the season. Biggest question I'm going to ask, Ron, is who would you blame most for their struggles, and can they get out of them?
Oh, this is a tough one for them. First of all,
Tom looks very happy there in that picture. So
yeah. Look, this is a collective thing. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this team. And it right off the jump from the beginning of training camp. The offensive line, basically falling apart, and they took another big hit with Shaq Barrett
he's
going
out
down
now
with an injury.
Yep.
Right from the injuries to now, I mean, it's just everything has gone wrong. I don't think Todd Bowles is doing a good job. I think he's been pretty bad.
Yeah, that's one of the points I was going to bring up. The fact that Bruce Arians is not there, the offensive struggles that this team is having, you can sit back and say maybe Arians isn't the greatest coach, got lucky, got a Tom Brady, won a Super Bowl. But offensively, what he was able to bring to that side of the ball for this team, you can see the deficiencies now. They're just not doing what they're 20th overall in offense.
Yeah.
32nd in the NFL in rushing. They are dead last. They only get about 61 yards a game right now.
And there's no excuse with Fournette.
No.
And
they're 24th in points, Ron, 18.3 points. This is the lowest Tom Brady scored for a Tom Brady-led team in his career at this point in the season. 18.3 points per game. It's just unfathomable what's going on.
And look, like when you talk about Tom Brady, I don't think it's a matter of his talent and like he's too old. Like he can still throw the ball down the field, like he's shown that.
He led the league last year in passing yards.
Right. But like what happened to Evans? Like he can't even make a catch anymore.
Yeah, he's looked horrible. Godwin hasn't come back from that knee injury properly.
No, it's just
they
everybody.
And Gage is out.
And I'm not even giving Tom Brady a pass on this either because his head's not in the game.
Oh, and absolutely not. And again, divorce finalized today with Giselle. They both put out statements. Maybe this gets him back into close the book on that chapter, and we're moving on.
Look, the best thing for him right now is to find another supermodel and get on with his life. I mean, look, there's plenty of them out there. There's a ton of supermodels. I'm sure he can get one. He's in Florida. So a lot of them go to Florida.
I don't know whoever got the house. Who knows? I don't know.
Look, if Will Smith goes to Miami, then he can do the same thing. Just go to Miami in his time off and find a supermodel.
So my last question would be, do you think this is going to be something that haunts them the whole season? Are they going to make the playoffs? Is this a playoff team?
Well, the sad part is they might still win the division because the division is so bad.
Yeah.
It's like a losing team is going to win this division, and that might very well be the fact.
Like if there was a year to be bad and still have a shot, this is the year because there's so many teams that are just not performing well.
Yeah, I mean, when you have New Orleans, Carolina, and Atlanta in your division, and they all stink, I mean, you got a shot.
They don't make
And
the
look, Tom Brady only needs a shot.
yeah.
If he gets to the playoffs, he's dangerous.
You never know what can happen. If they don't make the playoffs, Todd Bowles' job security.
No, I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they've got so much that they've really got to concern themselves with.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to come out of this. But the good thing for them is they do play Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans, in that division. So they still can win that division. I still think they can put it together. When you got a Tom Brady, you always have a shot. But he needs to get his head straight.
Yeah.
And the team just needs to start playing. I mean, nobody's holding them accountable. And dare I say, the only one that's holding them accountable is Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I would say this too. He is a human.
Right.
I know we don't want to believe that sometimes, but
no, you're right.
It may not be a physical thing anymore with him. It may be a mental thing where look, he's obviously he's chosen football over marriage and his family.
Yeah.
Everybody can say what they want, but he had an option. He chose to come back and play again. He may be questioning that decision. Was it the right decision? So when you start to put doubts in your mind about what you're doing, in anything, it could be anything that you're trying to do in
Absolutely.
life. He may be going through that, which is going to affect his play. The question would be is he's running out of time. Is he going to continue to try to do this next year or a year after and say, look, okay, I put it all behind me. If you can't do it this season, who's to say you're going to be able to do it 2-3 years from now and continue to, perform at a high level? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Tom Brady. I was almost a believer that he was going to retire. He was just going to call it quits and just say he can't do it. He looks so disheveled every week now. Like there's no confidence in him or this team.
Well, there are other teams looking for a quarterback.
And one of the theories, we'll talk about it after. Let's continue on this NFL theme. We're going to bring this gentleman up on the screen as we say the strong get stronger. The undefeated Philadelphia Eagles made a trade. They picked up defensive end Robert Quinn from the Chicago Bears. How important is this deal for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, I mean, this is big. I mean, look, they're just taking a very solid team, that has a chance for greatness, really. And they just got better.
Right.
Like
so
you just added to the depth of this team.
Nobody considers them a legitimate contender. And what they're saying is, look, we're going to continue to add pieces. And this is a small piece. But the fact that you had a defensive end, which is very easy to assimilate into a defense, because all you're really telling him to do is rush the passer. It's not like a wide receiver or a quarterback where they've got to learn a playbook. Robert Quinn, all we need you to do is go after the quarterback.
Yeah, get to him.
Right? So not having a great year, he's only had one sack, but 102 sacks in his career, in his 12-year career. This team overall, Philadelphia, fourth in defense. So they're already very strong defensively. Yeah. To me, adding any piece, and again, we don't know about injuries. Injuries could come. Now you're adding depth, to your point. Are they the favorites in the NFC now at this point?
Well, I thought they were the favorites to begin with, look, they're playing lights out right now. They're rolling in off of a bye week after, having a perfect season so far, and they just got better. They just got help. This team now knows that the ownership and the front office is 100% behind this team. They are going for it because they just picked up that other piece. He's going to come into that locker room and he's going to be happy he's there. And those guys in the locker room are going to say, wow, We just added to our defense, and we are going to be tough to beat.
They picked
I
up
mean, it's
Hassan Reddick in the offseason. We talked about Hassan Reddick.
Yep.
Leads the team in sacks so far. You add him with Fletcher Cox, a Josh Sweat, the very solid defensive team. And Manny, thanks for joining. We did say that his numbers aren't great, but again, look at the team and the focus
Right.
that put on when you're playing on a team that's not as good. Roquan Smith's the best player on Chicago. Other than that, everybody's keying on, Robert Quinn because he was the next guy that was going to be able to disrupt an offense.
Right. Look, what he's going to bring to this team now. What did he have? 1 sack so far this year, right?
1 sack, yes.
Watch, he's going to end up in double digits, and he's going to make it. He's that Von Miller pickup this year.
Yeah,
that's what he is. He's
Could
that
very well
Von
be.
Miller that's coming into a team, and they just say, just get to the quarterback. That's what we want you to do. Get to the quarterback.
The funny thing is, and Manny just made me think about it. We talk about them being the NFC favorites. What about the NFC East? Does this put them ahead of Dallas for sure?
Yeah, because like you're adding yet another piece of the puzzle. Now, do they need anything else on offense? They probably will pick up another piece on offense.
No, yes.
Look, I mean, if they add to the depth, why not? With all the problems with the offensive line and so many teams, why not just go pick up somebody for depth on that offensive line? Make sure you have it.
And I do want to apologize. Last week, we gave false information. There was no trade with Isaiah Wynn, Nakobe Dean. That was not a deal that was done. Sometimes we've got to check our sources. So that deal was not completed. So Philadelphia did not get Isaiah Wynn in that trade. And the New England Patriots did not get Nakobe Dean. Let's talk about those New England Patriots. So they're traveling to New York this weekend to face the New York Jets. Your thoughts on what New England needs to do to win this game? And last week's theory of getting off the plane or out of the locker room did not work well. So
no.
What does this team need to focus
on? Pretty much everything. Like, when you look at that team last week, losing to the Chicago Bears, they had no business losing to that team. And look, they looked like they were a high school team playing a pro team. That's what they looked like.
The benefit, the mobile quarterback, obviously Zach Wilson is not as mobile as Justin Fields. That seems to be one of those Achilles heels of the New England Patriots. They just can't seem to figure out how to stop mobile quarterbacks. But offensively, so we can sit there offensively and talk about all these issues that the offense is having for New England, and we know some of the problems. But I want to focus more on the defense. They played a very poor offensive team last week in the Chicago Bears, or actually Monday night. It's still this week. And yet they allowed that team to run all over them and even pass when needed. The Jets offense is 22nd overall in the NFL. They're not very good passing the ball. They're 17th overall rushing the ball, so they're still in the bottom half of the league. The defense really needs to step up at this point. This defense needs to allow this offense to only have to score 20-plus points and still win this game. We know the struggles with the offense. The problem is not the offense at this point. The problem is the defenses cannot allow 33-plus points to a team that should not be scoring 33-plus points.
No,
that's what happened.
You know what? I gave Bill the benefit of the doubt, and no more. That's it.
Wait till we get to what were you thinking? We'll play Bill Belichick.
Look, this is squarely on the shoulders of Bill Belichick this week. Squarely on the shoulders. He takes all of the blame for that game because he didn't have them ready. He didn't have a plan to keep Fields contained. Really? Since when do you not have a plan? Since when? The last 20 plus years, you've had a plan. against any quarterback that came into the league. And let me tell you, Fields is not Jackson. Fields is not Hurts. Fields is not even Tua. And you let him do this to you? That is an embarrassment to New England. Embarrassment. And frankly, if it was any other coach, he would have been fired after the game.
And we've talked about the Bill Belichick lore. It's running out here in New England. Defensively, very good. The Jets.
It's out for me.
Now, ninth overall in defense. I'm going to tell you right now, Sauce Gardner, when we talked about this pick when they grabbed him, he's that dude.
Yeah.
So, Mac Jones, stay away from him. You do not allow him to get around the ball, sniff the ball. He's going to make plays. New England, though, gets a benefit. Breece Hall, done for the year. That was their top running back. They're down a wide receiver in New York. Avoid turnovers as well. Turnovers have killed this team. And with the Jets +2, New England a -2. How many times do you see a New England team at a minus on the +-? It doesn't happen.
Because when you get guys that cough up the ball or can't make the catch but tip it up just so the other team can get it, I've seen so many bad plays, so many.
Very uncharacteristic.
I pretty much had it up to here.
It's so uncharacteristic of New England. It's just not something. Quick injury updates. Dave Andrews, Christian Barmore will not be available. They're out for the game Sunday. Kyle Duggar, Nelson Aguilar, Jonathan Jones, and Adrian Phillips all listed as questionable. So a couple of big guys on that defensive side of the ball not either going to be there or may not play at all.
Hey, I got a question. How many catches did Harry have for Chicago?
One that I remember.
Yeah.
One. So, yeah, great loss there. I'm glad he circled it on his calendar because he did exactly what he did in New England.
And he was also laughing and smiling after that first
we might as well take it out on somebody because at the end of the day, we got torched. Yeah. But you know what? You still suck, N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
So, Ron, few interesting games this week. What are some of the games you're looking forward to?
You think there's a few interesting ones?
I actually have a couple of games that there's so many twists to it that you got to look at it that way.
There's like 2.5 games that are.
I got 5.
Yeah. I'm looking at these games. I didn't like the Green Bay game against Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to smack them.
I love that game for 2 reasons.
I don't love it.
If they smack them, Aaron Rodgers' era over.
Yeah. Well, I think it's already over right now.
If Green Bay can upset the Bills, does that put them back on that track that they should be on? So that game's interesting because
they're not going to upset the Bills. It's not going to happen. The Bills are not going to take them lightly like the Patriots did with Chicago. It's not going to be a stupid Sunday,
man. That's why they made the movie.
Yeah,
that's why Jamie Foxx starred in it.
Yeah, but this is not any other Sunday because this is the Buffalo Bills and they mean business and they want to win and they are looking to Super Bowl bound. And they are not letting Aaron Rodgers get in the way of anything with that crappy team that he has.
All right. Giants, Seahawks, Manny said I had that on my list as well.
Yes. I have the Giants in Seattle as well.
Very quietly. NFC West.
Look, do not be surprised if Seattle wins this game. Do not be surprised. I'm telling you now. I think the way Geno Smith is leading this team, he's leading them, but yet the team knows that it's everybody doing it. You know what I'm saying? But he's rallied them.
But this is another game, too, for the Giants. At what point do people consider them legitimate contenders? Like, wow, hey, they win this game. Are they 7-1? Are they still a joke? I don't know. You can't.
Yeah.
It's an interesting matchup because Seattle needs it more than the Giants. But if the Giants win, I think from a momentum standpoint, people may start to put them on that top ledge. We have them in our top 5 in Sports Unfolded NFL rankings. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people don't. I also had, and I'm going to throw this out there. Well, Manny also mentioned 49ers Rams.
Yes.
Because that NFC West, again, if Seattle loses one of those two teams, right, they're interested in this. And look, the Rams either need to start to figure it out, or they're going to be in the same boat as the Packers and the Bucks.
Yeah, and this is not the time to, have to figure this out, but they have no choice.
Right?
You got to go up
This
against
could
San
be the game.
Francisco, who just took a loss to Kansas
Yeah.
City.
This could be the game.
So, I mean, this is their seasons right now on the line here.
In San Francisco, they just pick up McCaffrey. If they lose back-to-back games after picking him up, how's that move look? We talked about what the Rams did. You talked about Von Miller last year. If they can't figure that out, here's another game, Ron. Are you ready for this one? Panthers at Falcons. Because one of these teams could be the division leader after this week.
Watch it end in a tie just because.
That's insane, right? Panthers Falcons game has meaning.
Yeah.
I believe Debo's out too. That's big. That's big if San Fran, if Debo's out. And I got one more game. Ron. Patriots at Jets. Because this could be, as we're saying about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Aaron Rodgers, the end of the Patriots era with a loss to the Jets. They've beat them 12 straight times. If Bill Belichick can't figure out how to get this team going again, they move to 3-5, and their season's over. They're dead last in the AFC East, and they're not getting out of the game.
So let me ask you this question. Do they fire Bill Belichick?
After the season, I think they may. If they have a losing season, I think they may. Because that'll be three years in a row that they've just been an average team, if best an average team.
Okay.
Great discussions, my friend. Great discussions.
Oh, what about Cincinnati, Cleveland?
No interest. Cleveland's 2-5. Even with a win, they're still, you know what I mean? It just, they're not there yet.
Well, if they do win this game and they are playing at home, it puts them back in the picture in that division.
It does. I just feel, look, by the time Deshaun Watson gets back, we don't know what he's going to be. I just don't think they're going to have a winning season regardless.
I'm not saying they will. I still think Cincinnati's going to.
How many losses did you have?
Do what they did last week.
You show for the Bengals. I believe it was 1 or 2. You only had like 2 losses for the Bengals.
No, I did not have just 2 losses. I actually had 4 losses for the Bengals.
I'm going to have to rewatch that one. Ron, it's triple play time. Manny, pay attention because I know you're going to be interested in this one. But these are currently the top 3 sack leaders in the NFL, and that's Matt Judon, Micah Parsons, and Nick Bosa. We're going to decide who we start, who we bench, and who we're going to cut. You are first this week, my friend.
Oh.
Ooh. So have at it, and it's Judon, not Judin. He's on it, not in it, but pretty good.
Who says Judin?
You spelled Judin.
Oh.
So for those that are really paying attention, as I always do, my astute sports knowledge and keen eye for things, Ron, Judon is leading. Judin might be pretty good too. I don't know. But so Judon, Parsons, Bosa, start, bench, cut. How you going?
Okay, well, this to me wasn't really that difficult. I am starting Parsons by a long mile. Like, he's so much better than the other 2 players. And yes, so much better than the other 2 players. You're looking at a guy that's only played 23 games, but he's got 5 forced fumbles, 21 sacks in those 23 games, 88 tackles. He's been to a Pro Bowl already and an All-Pro, in his rookie season. All-Pro in his rookie season. All-Pro. Number 2, I'm putting Nick Bosa. I'm putting him on the bench. He's played 41 games. He does have an interception, the only one of the 3 that have an interception. He's got 6 forced fumbles, so he creates havoc. And 2 of them he recovered as well, and 31 and a half sacks to go along with the 91 tackles, 2 Pro Bowls, and he did win a Defensive Rookie of the Year. The only problem is that when you start bringing out the games to the same amount, Parsons' numbers are way better than both. Matt Judon, he's a good player, but that's what he is a good player, and he's not making
Here
my
comes the
team
spam.
with these 2 guys in front of him.
Here comes the spam from from YouTube. All right.
Oh, look at all that. Hey, but you know what? That actually helps us out with all these comments.
People are watching. And Manny picked Parsons, Bosa, Judon, or Judian, as he put it. You're gonna put him up there too.
Judion.
All right. I agree with you, my friend. Micah Parsons has to be the starter.
Absolutely.
I went Nick Bosa on the bench. I
Yep.
can't believe we continue to see cut Matt Judon. I think this is like second or third time we've had Judon on one of these lists.
Yeah.
And we've cut him every time. But 55 and a half sacks in 100 games.
No, it's pretty good. It's good. Look.
8.5 forced fumbles, too. Like the guy's creates turnovers.
Right.
It's just when you put him against Parson and what Parson's going to be, if you give 100 games to Parson, which is basically 3 more times what he's got
a little
now,
more than 3.
Right? He's gonna be well over 70 plus sacks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Parsons just unreal, and we've talked about it. Possibly the next LT.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, look. I mean, this to me is kind of obvious who is your starter. It's a little closer with Bosa and Judon, but
yeah, and that's where I struggled a little bit. Is did I want maybe the experience but Bosa too, very good numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. With those 2 guys, no. Judon gets cut every time with those 2.
My private photos are not on YouTube, but my NBA talk with this photo coming up of these 2 teams right now that we're going to discuss. I'm going to ask this question because the Los Angeles Lakers and the Philadelphia 76ers, they're struggling to begin this season. Which team is most likely to be in the most trouble this season? This is a tough one. Philadelphia 1-4 to start the season. Lakers 0-4 to start the season.
Look, I think it's definitely the Lakers. Not only because they just can't shoot, there is just no cohesiveness with the players amongst themselves. Like, they don't even like being together. They don't want to share the ball. They don't want anything to do with each other.
Ron, you're a very intelligent person. So I'm going to give you a number, and then you tell me where you think the Lakers rank currently. So there's 30 teams in the NBA, correct?
Yes.
Points per game, the Lakers, where do they rank?
I'm going to say at the bottom.
So 30, okay? Yeah. So see how smart you are here. Field goal percentage, where do you think they rank?
At the bottom.
30th. 3-point percentage, where do you think they rank?
At the bottom.
Very good. They're shooting 22.3% from the 3-point.
Terrible. They're
Stop
terrible.
shooting threes, first of all. Here's where I'm concerned, though, for the Philadelphia 76ers. Because I want to look at the teams the Lakers lost to: Golden State Warriors, defending champions.
Right.
The Clippers, who we expect to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Portland, who started off the season 4-0 before now
Damian
Lillard's injury. So here we go again with that. And the Denver Nuggets, who we expect to be in the playoffs. I actually have them won in the finals.
Yeah.
They played 4 quality teams. Not making excuses, but they played very good teams.
No, they did. They have.
The Sixers, though, have had the same coach now in place for quite some time.
Right.
And that's Doc Rivers.
Yes.
You've got to start to question, can Doc Rivers get this team to win? Because to me, their numbers aren't bad. It's probably more about coaching and the coaching decisions that are being made in the game that are causing them to lose versus a new coach in LA with Darvin Ham, who's still trying to figure out how to get there. Right? So that's where we've got to start to look at the Philadelphia 76ers and what they did, right? They invested all this money to try to keep guys on that team and sign guys on that team, and yet they're still losing.
Yeah.
And so Doc Rivers that's a big. There's already been people questioning if he should be fired. They're 5 games in.
Yeah.
So as bad as the Lakers are, I think the organization as a whole in Philadelphia is even worse.
See, I don't think so. I just think though Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in history of the NBA.
I agree. We've talked about it. It was the talent around him in Boston that won that championship. But let me ask you this question, Ron, because this has been thrown out there. It's going to be very hard to move on from some of the Laker contracts. I know
It's going to be terrible.
I know how you feel about LeBron James. But if you were the Los Angeles Lakers at this point, are you looking at actively moving LeBron James if possible?
Probably looking to move everybody.
Right? So, I mean, they could be in trouble if that's the route they go. Anthony Davis was supposed to be the future. Once LeBron goes, he is not that player.
Anthony Davis is never going to be that player.
No. I mean, I take him on Boston because you get 30 games of him, but not this Anthony Davis, the one that used to play in New Orleans.
You're never going to get that. That guy is gone forever. He is never going to return. I think his career is over after this. I don't see anybody touching him at all. So
yeah, he's
Lakers are going to eat that contract.
Shell of himself.
I think
you're going Lakers more in trouble.
Yeah, I think they are because I think the attitudes on the team is just not meshing.
Westbrook, though, now leading the second unit. They've officially announced he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's just going to make him more angry, and he's going to want out. Look, this is just a mess, and I give it a week or two, and LeBron is going to ask to be traded.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. Ron, Major League Baseball time. We've got the World Series coming up. Starts tonight between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros. Your thoughts on how this series is going to play out? We're going to put that nice logo of the MLB World Series. I love that. That they did a nice job with the logo.
Yeah, except for the Capital One thing. You know,
they sponsor it. I can't. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah, I know. What's that other thing over there?
I don't know.
Looks like a broken star.
I think that's the Winnipeg Jets logo.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it.
So your thoughts on this series? What's your expectations?
My expectations is Houston winning the World Series. But
way to ruin their prediction.
But Philadelphia has gotten in the way of everybody's aspirations.
But here's where it bothers me because of the long layover. They were hot. Philly was hot. They were just playing some great baseball.
Yeah.
You sit there and you say, okay, what's the one thing that can stop momentum? Rest.
Yeah.
And they were just on fire. The bats were on fire. They were hitting well. Bryce Harper is just tearing it up.
When you don't have time to think about it, you just go out there and do what you're doing.
Exactly. And now you've got to think about what's going to happen and what you're in and the game you're in. Bryce Harper right now batting .419 in the playoffs, 6 doubles, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs.
Yeah.
Your boy Schwarber chipped in 3 home runs there. I know how much you love him. As a team,
I think he's a hell of a player.
They're batting .232, which is, believe it or not, pretty good for baseball. 16 home runs, 23 doubles, 31 walks. They're very patient at the plate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to question it. Verlander, 1-0 in the playoffs, but a 6.30 ERA.
Right.
If Philly can steal game 1, there's a shot here.
Oh, I'm not saying there isn't a shot. Like I said, Philadelphia has basically been the spoiler.
Ron just got on Philadelphia's fans' Christmas card list. Finally get on somebody's. Good job.
Yeah.
See?
No, I'm not. Look, I don't. After I just prop him up, I'm going to knock him down.
Yeah,
right?
that's my guy.
like I am not a big fan of Harper, but what he's doing this postseason goes along with those greats. And dare I say, the numbers look very similar to a David Ortiz.
So I put a poll up on MeWe of generational players currently, and it was Mike Trout and Bryce Harper. And Mike Trout still by far is considered the better player of the two this generation. More people chose Mike Trout over Bryce Harper. So that's pretty interesting to look at because Mike Trout's never even sniffed what Bryce Harper's been able to do in the playoffs.
No.
And yet here we are. I will say a couple of interesting things, and I just want to Houston's momentum, though, to win it for Dusty Baker. This is his third time getting there. He hasn't won a World Series. It'd be great for them to do it for him. Not that I want to see Houston win it, but it'd be nice to see. And he has a fun fact for you, Ron. Astros 11-1 in the month of October. They've lost one game in the month of October. Any guess who they lost to?
Seattle.
They lost to the Philadelphia Phillies on October 3rd.
Oh.
The only team that's beaten them in the month of October has been the Philadelphia Phillies. They're 11-1. Isn't that fun? A fun fact. So think about it.
That's actually kind of interesting.
It's out there.
Look, there's a lot of things that, that make the history of baseball what it is. Okay. Now, when it comes to numbers, baseball is probably by far the best sport when it comes to numbers and history because it's been around forever.
Before pick and roll. Holy cow.
And third time's a charm, for Dusty. Everything's
He's
pointing.
a good manager. Like, he's a good guy. So
look, everything points to Houston.
Yeah, everything.
except for those Bryce Harper, Schwarber numbers. Yeah. And it only takes one guy to derail a team. And we know this, because, look, I'm a Red Sox fan. You're a Yankee fan. We both have familiarized with the rivalry.
Yeah.
And Houston has been a post-season team for a long time now. And who's to doubt that team? It's an all-star team. So it just goes to show you that, David versus Goliath kind of thing, because, let's face it, Philly is the underdog here.
87 wins. Nobody expected them to be here. No. Not even to make the playoffs. There was doubt they fired their manager on.
Right.
During the season. Like, you get rid of Joe Girardi. You said, look, is that a good move? And look what happened. It ended up working out great for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, like who expected them to be Atlanta?
No, nobody. I didn't. Nobody. I know you didn't.
No. And then they went in. Okay, yeah, you had to play San Diego. At the time, we were thinking it was going to be L.A. It could have been different, but it's not different because San Diego beat L.A. So that made it easier for Philadelphia. They must have turned and looked at each other like, oh, wow, this is destiny then.
Yeah, it might be. And you know that. That's all it takes. So Verlander versus Nola tonight. We will do our prediction on the entire series at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. And if you're joining us, you can give your predictions as well. So one more story out of Major League Baseball. The New York Yankees have stated they intend to keep manager Aaron Boone for next season. Smart move by the organization. Your thoughts before I go absolutely crazy.
I don't really care, to be honest with you.
So
it's not even Boone that they have to worry about.
427 and 281 in 5 seasons. You say, Eric, you're crazy. You want to get rid of this guy. They finished second 3 times in the AL East, twice first in the AL East. So the guy can win the division, right? Postseason record, 14 and 17.
Yeah.
No World Series appearances. As an organization, you're the guy, the boss, George Steinbrenner, it was either get to the series or bust. This organization now has taken a complete turn. You're going to lose your top player in Aaron Boone because I don't think anybody in their right mind says
Aaron Boone.
Not Aaron Boone. Sorry, Aaron Judge. 10 years, $500 million is what's being thrown on the table, is what they're saying he's going to be asking for. There's going to be very limited teams that are going to pay him, and I know the New York Yankees aren't going to be one of them. So you lost your top player. Your managerial decisions in the postseason are horrible. And you're basically saying, look, we're going to take away your top player, and we're going to hope that you get to the playoffs again to lose. They haven't been able to beat Houston in 4 years.
See, the problem isn't Aaron Boone and all of this. The problem was that pitching staff. That pitching staff was just not good enough, and they had a chance to do something at the trade deadline. And when you trade away a better pitcher than what you got back
Agreed.
in other trades,
but that's
then
Cashman.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and Cashman, who's another guy that they say they're going to retain.
That's the guy is the problem.
And here
they
now
need to get rid of Cashman.
This is where the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, and why the Red Sox organization has been more successful recently, because they're in the Dominican Republic right now trying to work out a deal for Devers. And they said they're actively trying to get Devers. That's your star guy. You're going to keep him. You're not going to wait another year, because if Devers has the year like a Judge had, and now you're trying to match some ridiculous contract. The Yankees paid the price on that. They're going to pay the price next season, and you're going to have a manager that I think is ineffective, especially in the postseason. But that's my opinion. Anyway, let's move on. No face-off this week, my friend, because we're going to do What Were You Thinking? And we get to play the part of Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick on Monday night started Mac Jones, then decided to bench Mac Jones after the third series. We need to know, what were you thinking, Bill Belichick? You will be Bill Belichick first, and then I will play Bill Belichick. Ron, I am asking you, Sports Unfolded, Eric here, Bill Belichick, what were you thinking Monday night, starting Mac Jones and then benching him? We're on to New York. That's it, and you're done.
Doesn't matter what I was thinking. It didn't work. So that's squarely on me. You know, like, if you want to second guess my decisions, well, maybe I shouldn't be your coach. So, again, it's on me. You know, like I said at the beginning of the season, all the decisions that I made is on me. So it's all on me. But I took out Mac Jones because he wasn't getting the job done, as no one was getting the job done. So it wasn't just one player, it was everybody. And that is also on me. So I brought in Zappy to try to get a little spark, and it worked.
Zappy spark. I like what you did there, Bill.
Thank you. That's on me. But it worked. Well, for a while, until the defense gave up, too many big plays. Nobody was getting the job done. And when they don't get the job done, it's on me. I made the decisions on all of, what happens, and it's my responsibility to get this team ready. And I did not do a good job of that.
Thank you, Bill, for your interview. All right, Ron,
New York.
Take it.
So Eric, you are now Bill Belichick. And I can't wait for this one because I know you're going to go off the handle. Bill, this is Ron from Sports Unfolded.
Thank you, Ron.
I just want to know, what was in your mind? What were you thinking when you took out Mac Jones, who had a winning record last season, and you put in Zappy, your third-string quarterback, in to replace him against the Chicago Bears?
Well, Ron, thanks for the question. What I would say is this. Mac Jones, coming off an injury, we weren't sure how he was going to be able to perform. Sat back, watched the first few series. I looked over at Matt Patricia, and I said, Matt, are they cheering for Mac in the stadium? He said, no, Bill. He said, well, what are they cheering? They're Zappy. You know what? My reputation's taking a hit here in New England. I need a spark. I need some people to get behind me again and believe that I know what I'm doing. I'm going to put this kid back in. See what happens. What's the worst that could happen? I ruin my quarterback's mental stability and make him feel like he's inadequate and shouldn't be on the team. And every time he makes a mistake, we're gonna yank him out of the game. Nah, he won't think that. He's a young kid. He'll get right over it. This is the way I do it. I'm old school. That's the way I do it. You perform, you play. You don't perform, you get benched. And as my good friend Bruce Cassidy, Boston Bruins, former head coach, would always say, let's not play the young kids. We need to play the veterans. Mac Jones, second-year quarterback. He's a young kid. I can do whatever I want to him. If it was a veteran making a mistake, I'll keep him in. But Mac Jones, second year, out. I'm not worried about it. The fans are behind me. Listen, they're cheering for Zappy. I made the right call. Regardless of what happened with the outcome of the game, we didn't play well in all three phases of the game. And that's on the coaching staff and this team to perform better. But ultimately, I made the right choice. And I learned from my man, Bruce Cassidy. So thank you for having me, Ron.
No problem.
That's what Bill Belichick was thinking. Bruce Cassidy and the young guys. That mentality is still there with Bill Belichick. He will bench a guy who's in his first or second year, and a guy that's a veteran makes a mistake, he lets him keep going out there. But I love this segment. I love being somebody else for a little bit.
Yeah, but you didn't get.
Yeah, I can't get the raspiness like he does. But I mean, the easy thing would have been to just say we're on to New York and we just keep. And that's the answer.
Yeah, but then the segment would be useless.
The segment wouldn't be very good because that's what he probably would have said. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. Yeah, yeah. Ask Mac that now when he throws his first pick.
All right, let's talk about something happier.
We are going NHL, my friend. Let's bring him up. I want to see that smile on your face because guess who made his return to the Boston Bruins last night? That gentleman right there, Brad Marchand. Pretty successful night as well. 2 goals, 1 assist. How important
Pretty successful.
Is it for the Boston 5-1 win, right, against Detroit?
This guy was everywhere. Everywhere. He had the most ice time.
Yeah, which is insane. Double hip surgery.
Yeah.
Came back a month early because they weren't expecting him to come back till the end of November, maybe early December.
Yeah.
And Coyle's practicing as well right now. So you could possibly see both of these guys back in the next month.
No, not Coyle.
Not McAvoy. Coyle. McAvoy, I'm sorry.
McAvoy.
Right? So, I mean, how important is for Boston Bruins now to have Marchand back on the ice?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying. Like, I mean, you saw what he brought to the game in his first game back without any training camp, of course. I mean,
somehow your light got brighter. You're glowing right now as you're talking. So
yeah, I mean, look, things are going pretty well. Although I'm a little concerned about Krejci's situation. That could come back and hurt,
Very
as well. But, having Marchand back, yeah, I mean, look, he's a great player. I still say he's probably in the top 6 or 7 players in the league. When you think about his scoring ability and then, the ability to play defensively, killing penalties, I mean, he does it all. You can't say that about too many players in the league.
Yeah. Again, you add a four-time All-Star to your team anywhere, it's going to be beneficial. But right. I think just the intensity for the team and what they wanted to do to win that game, the importance that Marchand is in the organization right now, right? And they're going to try to re-up Pasta at some point and make sure these guys are together for a couple more years. The fact that he worked himself back early because he knew the importance of what this team needed. Jim Montgomery had to be smiling when he says, look, I get to add this guy back to my lineup. Like, how lucky am I? We're 6-1 at the time. Add this guy to my. What was he thinking? I'm going to tell you right now. He was thinking, "Thank you for giving me this gift," because you couldn't ask for a better gift. To your point, the Krejci injury could be back. It could be costly. Did you hear any word on how severe it could be?
Well, to me, it looks like probably some sort of a minor concussion. But look, I mean, he's up for. I can't remember the player that did it, but he is up for, to go against to see if he's going to get suspended or not. It was pretty bad because he put the initial check. He comes up with the butt end, high underneath the arm into the ribs. And then he turns and he just clobbers him right over the head. And, that was pretty brutal. And he should be suspended probably for a game or two. But, it's like you're just careless, with what you're doing. And yeah, probably sour grapes was a lot, to do with that hit. It was a dirty play, and there was a few of them on the ice in that game, and it all went against the Bruins because like they were cross checking players that were on the ice, face down onto the ice, and they're cross checking him in the back of the head. I mean, like if you're that upset about losing, maybe you might want to think about getting better.
Yeah, right. And it's unfortunate again when you have the injuries, but getting a guy back, a lot of these guys are playing, great hockey right now. So hopefully they continue that momentum.
Yeah,
but we
that's
did
why.
want
That's why you were going to mention the trade.
Yeah, Jack Studnicka traded to the Vancouver Canucks,
and they basically didn't have a choice because they had to get underneath the player cap.
Yeah.
And you can't send Studnicka down because you would have lost him for nothing. So they sent him off to Vancouver for goaltender Michael DiPietro
and Jonathan Myrenberg.
Yes. Now that's the key in this one.
They have him on the lock till 2005, 25. So you got him to develop for a while.
Yeah, but you also have three goaltenders right now in Providence, Kincaid, Kaiser, and Bussy.
Yeah.
So most likely one of them are going to be moving on.
So can I ask you this question? Because I know you were very high on Studnicka.
Yes.
But I looked at his career, 23 years old, 38 games with the Bruins, 1 goal, 6 assists, a plus-minus, a -7. Why do you feel like he was a talent that they should have kept?
Well, he's got a lot of offensive skill. If you look at, taking each individual skill set aside, the guy can skate. He can shoot. He's got a pretty accurate shot, even though, with those numbers, it doesn't seem like it. But you got to get the playing time. We could talk about the Bruce
Cassidy situation, like you discussed, not playing the young kids as well. So
and the problem with him was when he did get his chance against Anaheim, he took 2 penalties. One was a little questionable whether it should have been a penalty or not, but the other one was clearly a bad penalty he took. And the Bruins knew that he was probably not going to stick around because of the centerman that you have on the team right now. You're not going to take Bergeron's job. You're not going to take Krejci's job, and you're not going to take Charlie Coyle's job. The only job up for question was Noshik's job, and that line has been playing pretty well, so you're not going to take his job.
Yeah, so unfortunately.
So they had to do something with him. Now, he's going to go to Vancouver. He's probably going to play a lot more, and I expect his numbers to do pretty well.
Yeah. And Vancouver making a lot of moves. So a lot of these teams trying to get under that player cap, and you're starting to see some moves. I know Carolina just made a trade with Vancouver as well. Again, they're one of the bottom teams, haven't gotten a win. So they were basically, it's like, all right, let's ship them there and we can get under the cap. So again, decent move for the Bruins. Questioning, again, the players they got. Myronberg will be interesting because if they can develop him in the next couple years, now you're talking about a good defenseman that could possibly be in this organization for years to
Right.
come.
And you have a couple of them that are really starting to get rolling, especially Zaboral, who kept his job with Boston and they sent Mike Riley down. So that was an interesting move for the Bruins as well. So Myronberg is probably about 2 years away. Next year he'll probably play in Providence
Yeah.
and get a
19
little
years
more
old, so
defending.
yeah,
Yeah, so he'll probably
young kid.
play in Providence and get some time. He might get, a call up here or there to play a couple of games here or there just to see where he's at. And I mean, it made sense for the Bruins to trade Studnicka because you couldn't do anything with him.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. Those lines were just playing solid, and it's a guy. If again, you need Marchand back on the ice.
Right.
You
And
have
plus
to
you
make
have
that move.
Pavel Zacha, who is actually a center iceman. So it's not like Studnicka would have slid into the lineup because Krejci got hurt. Now you're going to have Pavel Zacha
Yeah.
centering Hall and Pasternak, so you're not really losing anything there. They're going to move Craig Smith back up to that third line, and then probably AJ Greer will probably get into the lineup again with his 3 goals.
So we talked about Marchand, tough guy, right? Double hip surgery back a month early. Let's talk about this next guy though, Phil Kessel, Iron Man.
Yeah.
How impressed are you with this accomplishment?
That is quite the accomplishment.
990 straight games.
Look, especially when you have that skill, there's a lot of big skill years in there. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh wins those cups without Phil Kessel. Especially when you took a lot of injuries, to other guys, and he was there in that lineup, holding the fort down. And like he's a talented player, and don't be surprised if he puts up pretty good numbers for the Golden Knights this season.
Look, he's 10 games away from 1,000 straight games.
If he gets
in
you
hockey.
20 to 25 goals, that's a gold mine for Vegas. That's what they want. That's what they're hoping for.
Or a golden night. Get it?
Yeah, a golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to give you real quick these numbers. Think about this. November 3rd, 2009 is when this streak started, Ron. Do you remember what you were doing back in 2009?
Having a clue.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was doing a year ago.
So it's almost 13 years now to this date. He missed his first 12 games of his career.
Actually, I do know what I was doing a year ago. I was doing the show. We were doing a show on a Friday night.
Sports Unfolded. He missed his first 12 games, shoulder surgery, came back. He was also at 19 diagnosed with cancer, came back, fought through that. And this man has played in 990 consecutive games and scored his 400th goal in the same game. Yeah. Pretty impressive. And he beat Yandel, right? That's for the all-time. Yep. So he can thank the Philadelphia Flyers for sitting him at the end of last season because that made that easier for him to make it.
Right.
No, great hockey talk, man. I love talking hockey. If you haven't, check out our NHL ranking show. It's on Sports Unfolded, YouTube, everywhere else as well. But so much fun to do these each week. Ron, it's pick and roll time.
Pick and roll.
I love this one. I really do, because I thought at first we were going to talk about the hardest one to break. And then I said, I don't think anybody can break these records. But we're going to say which one is the most impressive. And we're going to go with 5 records currently because it's World Series baseball. We decided to go Major League Baseball. These 5 records, we're going to go 5-1, which is the least impressive to the most impressive. Okay? And they are Joe DiMaggio's 56 hit streak. So 56 straight games with a hit. Cal Ripken Jr.'s consecutive games played streak. Ricky Henderson's stolen base record. Bob Gibson's 1.12 ERA in 1968, and Walter Johnson's 110 career shutouts in his career. Ron, you are first. I can't wait. I don't think we're going to be the same on this because anytime it's come to records or we've basically gone at it. So I can't wait to see what you've got to say. 5-1, least impressive to most impressive.
My head is about to burst.
It's unreal. It was so good. Great players.
Okay. I went. Oh, Jesus. This is wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. Number 5, I put Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak.
Say what?
Look, I think it can be done. I don't know what the closest anybody's gotten. I think it can be. If you got a great hitter, I think it can be done. I don't think that player is in the league right now. But eventually there's going to be a guy that can do it.
Okay.
You need a guy like a Wade Boggs or a Tony Gwynn type to do this. You cannot do it with a slugger. That's not going to happen. A home run hitter is just not going to get it done.
Agreed.
But I don't think the player is in the league at this current moment.
Fair statement.
But I think
It's number 5, Joe DiMaggio.
I think this is probably, and I'm going to dare me to say this. This is probably the easiest one to do.
All right.
All right. Now, with that being said,
least impressive,
number 4,
Joe DiMaggio, 56 straight hits.
Number 4, I have Cal Ripken's Iron Man streak at number 4. Now, mind you, I don't know if this is ever going to be broken.
It'll never be broken.
But I don't think
These guys take days off because I
don't think the rest of these will be broken.
Okay. That's fair to say.
So I still think DiMaggio's can be broken and will eventually, but not now.
Okay.
So Cal Ripken, number 4. I mean, look, you can just put a guy in there for a pinch hit, and he gets the game played. So,
okay.
I mean, it could happen.
Okay.
Number 3, I have Ricky Henderson, stolen bases. And I know I know what you're thinking. Look, like it's not going to get broken. Because teams just don't run as much because they want the home run with the guy on base. Why not just not send him, And I get it. It's going to take a guy to play 50 years in order to break this record. Like I said, it's not going to be broken, but in all things, like I think this is the 3rd hardest to break.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Bob Gibson's 1.12 in 1968. This is not going to get broken.
But it was most impressive. Not broken. So go ahead.
It is impressive.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, these top 4 are not going to get broken ever.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
But somebody like Jacob deGrom could come along and could do it because he was close. He was close. Nobody's been that close, but it's not going to happen.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. But number 1, Walter Johnson, 110 shutouts. Okay, first of all, you're lucky if you get a starter to go 6 innings anymore. So
Agreed.
Nobody's going to record a shutout pretty much ever anymore.
Agreed.
It's very rare that you get one. And how many have there been this year? I mean, when you really think about it.
Not many.
Like maybe 1 or 2, because the pitchers
I don't think any
gone.
pitchers go complete games anymore. Yeah.
No, and that's why that will never, ever, ever fall, because basically they treat pitchers like,
Be nice.
I can't say it.
Nope, don't say it.
I'm
All
not
right.
gonna say it.
All right. So I did a lot more research, Ron.
Yeah, I didn't do any research.
So I am going to tell you right
I'm just
now.
going about the history that I
No,
know.
I got you. Most impressive, least to best. You ready for this?
Can
At
only
number
imagine.
5,
Ricky Henderson.
Bob Gibson, 1.12 ERA. You know why? You want to know why?
Because
That
the
is
league
sixth
stunk.
best all time. Sixth best all time because there's a guy, Tim Keefe, who was a .86 for the 1880 Troy Trojans. I only went with guys that actually 12 plus games, not these. There was guys that played 4 games and had a better ERA. These guys are all double digits in starts. Dutch Leonard, .96 for the 1914 Red Sox, .96. And Mordecai Brown, 1.04 ERA for the 1906 Cubs. All had better ERAs than Bob Gibson. Nobody's being an 8.86. Tim Keefe, .86.
Yeah.
Ready?
But there was nobody that could hit a home run back then.
Doesn't matter. Still a better ERA. Anyway, at number 4, I will give you this one. Joe DiMaggio. 1941 had 56 hits. Next guy, the guy he beat, Willie Keeler, had 45. 1896 to 97, the Orioles. Pete Rose, 44 in 1978.
Yeah.
Joe DiMaggio, lifetime, 325 batting average. Pretty damn impressive. That's pretty good batting average. But I agree with you. More guys have gotten closer to that record. 30 plus, 40 in that area. So that it possibly could be broken. At 3, Cal Ripken Jr., 2,632 games. Next guy that was closest, the man he beat, Lou Gehrig, was 2130, so he beat him by 500 games. Everett Scott was the next guy in line at 1,307. There are no active players currently, even at 500.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
So never going to be broken. That streak will never be broken. At 2, very impressive for the Washington Senators from 1907 to 1927, Walter Johnson's 110 shutouts. Grover Cleveland Alexander was second with 90. Any guess on the top guy currently in the Major League Baseball?
For shutouts?
For shutouts.
I'm going to say Verlander.
Clayton Kershaw. You want to know how many he has?
30-something.
15.
Oh, my God.
Never going to be broken.
That's why I put that at number 1, because nobody's close.
Walter Johnson. So, again, second most impressive to me. 417 and 279 in his career. You know his ERA? 2.17, Ron. 2.17.
I know. Walter Johnson was
unreal.
Probably the best pitcher.
Unreal. And you don't mention his name at all. But number 1, Ricky Henderson, 1,406 stolen bases. Next closest guy, Lou Brock, at 938, which is second, right? So you think about it, it's 500 more stolen bases. Ron, you ready for this? With the Oakland A's in 1982, 130 stolen bases for the season.
Know.
83, 108, 1980, 100. The next guy to finally have the top record, Ty Cobb at 96 for the 1915 Tigers. You know who's 5th? Ricky Henderson with the 1988 New York Yankees at 93. The man holds 4 out of the top 5 seasons with the most stolen bases.
Right.
I don't even think there's teams that get 100 stolen bases in a season now as a team.
Yeah, no.
So impressed. Ricky Henderson was just nasty.
Yeah, and when you think about it, if you got a base hit or a walk, he's going to third base.
Oh, it's unreal. It was unreal.
That's what it was. He was going to be at third base by the time you look up and notice. It's like, wait, what just happened?
It's just unreal how he played, man.
The man was fast.
I just don't get it.
You know, that's why I say, like, 4 of those things are never going to be broken. And, you know, it's look, like, nobody steals bases anymore because you don't want to get the guy wiped off and the guy hit a home run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a shame. It's such a big part of the game back in the day. Look, in the 80s, man, that's all they were doing is running. And now forget it. You can't get anybody to do it.
Nope.
But Great pick and roll, man. I love that one. That was probably one of my most
it's a
favorite.
great one. And to be honest, we actually
there's no
weren't that
romance.
different.
No,
because you just put Bob Gibson down to the
5,
bottom,
and then everything else kind of moved. Yeah.
So we were pretty much right on.
All right, Ron, it's prediction time, and you gained another game. You're 3 games up now. It's getting closer.
Yeah,
Getting
you gotta watch out, dude.
I know.
Watch out.
This might be a tough. Manny dropped a little bit too. He was 54% as of last week. Let's see if Manny's still with us. Make sure.
I know you don't want to be wearing some Red Sox attire.
Kenny, myself, Manny, all 3 and 4. You were 4 and 3 last week in predictions. So, nice job. So, if you'd like to join in right now and give your picks as we're doing them, please do. So, Ron, you are first. 10-29, Edmonton Oilers at the Calgary Flames. Who you got?
I am going to go with Calgary at home.
I as well went Calgary. I think they're playing a little better hockey than Edmonton. Edmonton's still been a little inconsistent for my liking.
I look, Calgary's just been playing very well. So
very, very good hockey.
Top
team in our NHL rankings. If you haven't,
they are.
Manny went Calgary as well. We are going on November 1st. The Boston Bruins at the Pittsburgh Penguins. I am picking the Boston Bruins. I just feel like the momentum right now, they are playing such good hockey. And Jim Montgomery, great coaching. He's been doing a phenomenal job. I'm going to Bruins.
I can't not pick them. I can't not pick them. I got to go Boston. Like they're playing too well. They're playing too well.
Truly feel they might be the number 1 team on NHL rankings next week. They could very well be the number 1 team.
They beat this team.
NHL rankings. So Bees, Pittsburgh. We both went Boston. Manny, if you're on there. Major League, he's going Bruins as well. He throws he doesn't like anybody from Boston. 10-30. Major League Soccer playoffs. This game to get into the finals. Los Angeles Football Club at the Austin Football Club. And I didn't realize both these teams are owned by, what's his name? Will Ferrell and McConaughey. Austin's owned by McConaughey, and Ferrell owns the Los Angeles Football Club. So that's actors versus actor there too. So who do you got?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Austin.
Wow. I'm going Los Angeles. I think it's they have a great record. We'll see. We'll see. Our first indifferent. Manny, this is where it comes down. Our soccer guy, just for kicks, November 15th. Check that out. Los Angeles.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel good.
I love it. 10-28. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Boston Celtics. That's tonight. I'm going Boston. I think they come back and they bounce back from a loss.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cleveland's a pretty good team, but they have to play Boston in Boston after a loss, and I think they're going to be a little grumpy and bounce back. I expect Tatum to drop 40 plus.
Yeah, right now MVP candidate Jason Tatum. Granted, it's 4-game sample size. Manny, who do you? Manny, another Boston. Manny's going to go Boston back to back here.
Wow!
Can he do it? Will he do it?
Wow! He doesn't want to type it.
He doesn't even want to put it in. November 1st. Ohio and Boston. I don't know who to pick, but I'll go Boston. He's going Boston. This may be a first. If he goes New England, that's a sweep. Minnesota at Phoenix on November 1st. What do you got?
That's a tough one. I picked Minnesota to make the championship game, but I think they're going to lose this one in Phoenix.
Minnesota right now hasn't started off the way I thought they would.
No,
They lost to some bad teams. I'm going Phoenix. I think Phoenix, again, that big win over Golden State. Momentum on their side.
Yep.
See what, Manny, who do you got? He's got triple emoji, puke face. Picking Boston now. That was great. He's going Phoenix. He's going Phoenix. So far, man, he's sticking with us.
Smart man.
10:30. Football Sunday, my friend. New England Patriots at the New York Jets. I'm up on it.
Yeah.
I am going New York Jets. I don't have confidence in the New England Patriots to win this game. I just think that they've messed with Mac Jones' head way too much.
Call me crazy.
Crazy.
But I am going to go New England.
Wow. Manny said he's not picking New England the rest of the year. Yeah, see, he said he's not picking New England no matter what the rest of the year.
Now I feel better.
10:30 against this Sunday, New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going Seattle.
Oof. I'm going to believe. I'm believing in the New York Giants. I am going the Giants. The G-men somehow pull it out every single week, even when I say they can't. They've done it.
We already have 3 different.
Yeah, this could be an interesting week. Manny's going Giants. 10:30, San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh,
it's going to rain that game. I am going Rams. Rams, they've got to wake up, and this is the game. This, to me, is the game. They're going to wake up this game.
Yeah, I also agree. I think the Rams win this game. They know it's crunch time now. Look, they are a championship caliber team, and they are not playing well. But this is a must win. They will be in third place.
Yeah,
if they lose,
they need to win this game. Manny, Rams as well. Last game for this Sunday in football: Green Bay Packers at the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo is going to destroy them.
No upset in your mind.
No upset at all.
Ron, I'm going with the Bills. Come on. Did you even think it was a question on that one? Buffalo in a rout, 3-touchdown win. Josh Allen. I need him because everybody on my fantasy team is literally hurt this week.
I know the feeling.
So I need Josh Allen. I've lost 3 guys now for like half the season. Manny, who do you got? Green Bay, Buffalo. Give me all New York. He went all New York. Jets, Buffalo, and the Giants. He went all New York. 3 New York picks. Look at him. Ron, it's the last pick. This pick may not be decided until next week. So we'll announce that one next week. So this one might be a hole, but this is for the World Series.
It might be over this week, so
it could be.
I would.
I think game 5 is like Thursday or something. So if it goes that till then, we get it.
Yeah, it'll be over.
Philadelphia Phillies, Houston Astros.
Who's take
up?
Houston.
You got Houston?
Yep.
It was you. I agree with you. I got Houston as well. Dusty Baker gets his first win. Manny, World Series pick. Which team? Who do you got? Houston. Where are we? It's a sweep for Houston. Here we go. Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, a couple of ways they can support Sports Unfolded. Donate stars on Facebook, bits on Twitch. If you'd like to sponsor the show, we're still looking for sponsors. We'll get thousands of eyes on your business. We are global. We are on every single possible page known to man in sports, in podcasting, on Facebook, Twitter. So check us out, Rhode Island, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. Sponsor us, email, and we will give you all the information on how you can do that. Follow us on social medias at Sports Unfolded on Facebook, Twitter, MeWe, Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Red Circle, TuneIn, and we're possibly adding another format. We're in the works on that as well. So you can hear and listen to us no matter how many different ways. YouTube, follow Rhode Island Broadcasting so you can get all of their great programming. Not only Sports in Full, they have great shorts, movie shorts, music with jam sessions. So many different things. Haven Shine reviews, and then the gaming as well. So if you enjoy gaming, there's a lot of good things going on in Rhode Island Broadcasting as well. And let's get those follows up on Twitch. Goal is 500, guys. Only at 290. So make sure you're following. Subscribe as well. Ron, it is final thought time. You are first this week with your final thought. Tell the world what you're thinking, my friend. It doesn't even have to be sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today.
Well, I remember a time when it was great to be a Boston fan. Remember when all four teams were vying for championships. You know, we had the stout New England Patriots leading the way, and the Red Sox winning World Series. Several of them, the Celtics and Bruins both chipped in with a championship and a Stanley Cup. Well, all good things come to an end, and the Patriots look like they are the Patriots of old, and the Red Sox look like the Red Sox of old. But we still have the Boston Bruins and the Boston Celtics. Yes, Celtics. That's how the pronunciation is supposed to be. You know, but it would be nice if the Red Sox could get their act together and the Patriots can get their act together. My belief is we need a new direction. And I want to see new management in both teams. So I need Cora out, Heim, Bloom out, and it is time that Bill retires.
Wow, you're finally
It is
coming over to that
time.
today.
And nothing is going to change anymore until we get somebody new in there. Maybe there could be a position change soon, and maybe somebody, you know, one of these former players that installs the heart and soul attitude into that Patriot team and also the Red Sox team. I'm thinking Jason Veritek, and I'm actually thinking somebody like a Teddy Bruschi. Teddy Bruschi knows this game, and I would love to see him try it as a coach.
Great final thought, my friend. And like you said, much different times in the Boston sports. A lot of questions on those two teams. Great final thought. My final thought is actually about the victims in Italy. There was 5 victims that were stabbed. One of them, including Pablo Mari. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Arsenal defender. He's 29 years old. He was stabbed during that. Unfortunately, one of the individuals did die from a madman, again, going into, and we talk about it here in the United States, and it happens everywhere in this world nowadays. But again, you're talking about a young star who, you know, promising future here in the soccer world, football, as it's known around the world. Hopefully he gets healed up and better in time. But again, very serious, as one person did pass away. And I just wanted to, you know, our thoughts, prayers goes out to those that are trying to heal. 3 of them are in critical condition still and just trying to survive. And that was on Thursday. So ties in with our soccer, right? We're trying to learn more and get more involved in soccer. So just a unfortunate story that came out of the soccer world. Ron, it's been a great show, man. I had a lot of fun, a lot of good things today. Can't wait to see how these predictions turn out. Can't wait for this Sunday to see how these games turn out. And then we've got a lot of good stuff going on. NHL ranking. Faceless, thanks for joining us tonight. Manny, thanks for joining us. NHL, NFL, and NBA rankings all coming out next week. Check us out, social media, if you want any interest in following any of those. Follow us again, Rhode Island Broadcasting. Let's get some subscriptions. Very important so that we can continue to grow our brand. We're so excited about that. Thank you for joining us. Sports Unfolded, episode 43, Struggling Future Hall of Famers. There were a ton of them. Ron, I will see you next week, my friend. Take care. Enjoy the sport.
Absolutely.
And all we ask for in this world is peace.
Have a good night.